Hi, I'm John Perkins, author of Confessions of an Economic Hitman and other books, here at the Green Festival, having the incredible, great honor to be talking with one of my heroes, Dennis Kucinich, who you all know, and it's just, I'm so flabbergasted to be here with you, Dennis, because I hold you out as one of the people with tremendous courage and integrity, and there aren't too many out there these days, so I'm so happy to be with you and to be here at the Green Festival.
Thank you very much, John. I mean, I have 3 copies of Confessions of an Economic Hitman at my house. Why 3? I don't know, but I think so many people said, you got to read this book, and I've read it, and it's an important contribution, so back at you, and I'm glad to be here with you.
Well, thanks, and I wonder, can you say a few words about your feelings around the Green Festival, why you come here, why you speak here?
Well, we're talking about, we're talking about the environment, certainly, but we're talking about the connection between the environment and economics. And we're looking at what we really need to move towards. And the Green Festival helps to push forward is this this imprint of a systems thinking, making the connection between our policy choices, our resources, our availability of water, for example, our air quality, the condition of our climate, the transportation systems that we use. And as we have a more integrative approach towards the economy against the backdrop of, against the green backdrop, then we have the potential of really bringing about a transformation to make the world a better place to live.
Well, Dennis, as I'm traveling around the country and I do a lot of talking at universities and so on and so forth, I find a lot of young people particularly who really, really want to change the world. They understand there's a problem, and they often ask me, so should I go into politics? Is politics viable? And some of them got discouraged recently because they think politics has been pretty corrupted. You are one of those outstanding figures who's held your integrity, who's had tremendous courage, and you've also had to take a lot of blows. I know that, but you've stood up to really well. What is your advice to young people?
Never sell out. You don't have to sell out to get ahead. You may not do a skyrocket act where you make it to the top right away, but integrity has to be protected on a daily basis. You don't have to go back on what you believe to advance in politics. It's more important to stand your ground, and if you find out that the position you're taking, that you can improve it, that you can go beyond it, and then you have a new place to stand. But don't ever believe that it's not possible to intervene in human affairs and change things, because that's why we're here in the world. And when you go inside the system, and I would urge people to get inside the system, don't stand apart from it. This is who we are. This is what government of the people actually means in its finest exemplification. So young people, and I started at a very early age. I started when I was 20 years old. I ran for city council in the city of Cleveland. And I got elected 2 years later. And I think that get involved locally, get involved at a community level, help shape community policy, and then you develop the set of skills which are transferable to working at a state, a national, even an international level. I've been through a number of world summits on sustainability and climate change summits, and every time I went to one, I'd see young people gathering together from all over the world with this burning passion to try to change things. And that gives me great hope. But then the question is, what do we do and how do we do it? Look for something to get involved in your community. Don't wait for someone to call you forward. Step forward. Get involved in something you like. Where are your passions? And just get in and take hold. Watch what happens then. I mean, miracles happen.
Yeah.
But don't ever doubt. As Margaret Mead said this long before I thought of it, and that is, don't ever doubt the ability of one person to make a difference.
Yeah, well, if we look at any of our heroes, Rosa Parks walked to the front of a bus, and changed the world.
Right.
And you can, anybody's hero, you can look at, they're just human beings who persist and persist.
It's important to remember. It's not like you have to be some kind of superstar.
Right.
You just have to care. You have to have a heart that yearns for changing the world.
One of the things I often talk about is how it seems to me that, in a way, the geopolitics of the world has moved from governments running things to corporations today running things. Right. The corporations call so many shots in government. Most people can't get elected without financing from big corporations. The corporations control the press, the mainstream press. Can you talk a little bit about the relationship that you feel between corporations and a politician?
Well, C. Wright Mills, David Korten, and yourself have all, over the period of time, been able to delineate how corporate groupthink has filtered in through as a superstructure of thought in our society. That all truth has been measured by economic output, instead of looking at truth being representative of some eternal verities. Truth's about the bottom line. And so corporations and corporate thinking has so permeated our government that people think that you have to run government like a corporation. Now, the interests of the corporate state and the interests of a public interest are not mutually inclusive. They're often mutually exclusive. Corporations want to make money. Government's about providing service. Corporations like to convert government assets to their own use. We need to have government assets to provide the people with water services and with parks and with healthcare and education and a whole range of public service. Corporations have a desire for top-down management. The democracy comes from the bottom up. So we have to be careful about adopting corporate thinking in the governance of a country, because where it leads to is we then, if we follow corporate thinking, we then are on a trajectory to predatory capitalism, which is the cousin of totalitarianism.
Yeah.
So this is really a chance for, at the Green Festival, a chance for us to do some deep thinking, to go deep green in our thinking, and to come up with a consciousness that is holistic, that looks at the concerns of all people, not just some, and an awareness that says that whatever choices you make affect me and the rest of the world, whatever choice I make affect you and the rest of the world. We have to have that integrative thinking.
And to be aware, I think, that every time we buy something or choose not to, we're really casting a vote.
Hello.
Because the corporations are calling the shots so much that, you know, and we need to recognize that we do have power over the corporations.
The power of a consumer is extraordinary. And people have the right to not to purchase. People have a right to get together collectively and say, we're not going to do business with them anymore.
Right.
You're going to see more and more of that happening.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Good to see you. Thanks.